But first, Miles, would you mind showing us the results of that first poll question? I want to get panelists' thoughts on these. We have 34% said production capacity is one of their biggest challenges, 12% low product yield, 14% say quality control issues, 24% say high operational costs, 10% regulatory compliance, and 6% lack of skilled personnel. How do those percentages strike you guys? Any surprises? Meets your expectations?
I mean, I think we've actually started to already allude to the fact the largest percentage here being production capacity limitations, and then starting to point to the fact that the limited number of CDMOs that have available the solid phase peptide synthesis capability is one of the big challenges right now in trying to find space to run solid phase peptide synthesis. So I would agree with this assessment. It looks pretty close.
Matteo and Chuck, do you agree?
Yeah, same thing. The limitation, the cost is something that people that operate in this arena of peptide, coming from other type of CDMO world, get always surprised how expensive peptide are. And I think there, what Charles was saying, people is used to recombinant, and they think, why can we do it recombinant? So this cost of chemical synthesis is definitely a factor here. I think is a factor is going to go down a little bit in the world, because I think 25 years ago there was one product called T20 produced by the company Roche for HIV, that changed the phase of peptide synthesis. For that product, Roche pushed the production of amino acid to very large volume, and that induced the reduction of costs of this reagent. And I think that thanks to Lilly here and to other people who is going with very large volume, one of the effects of this revolution in peptide synthesis that we are going to see even lower price for amino acids. So this at the end will benefit the industry as a whole, when they can make this amino acid in this very large volume, because the costs are going to become smaller and smaller. And so one of the big number in the synthesis, which is the cost of amino acid, will decrease further. And so that's one aspect that I think is important.
Yeah, agree, Matteo. That's the infirmapatide, that Fusion asset from Roche back in the early 2000s, the HIV drug. That drove FMOC amino acid synthesis methods, and it really drove the price of those down to make that achievable in terms of realistically doing an affordable solid phase peptide synthesis route. That was some great work that they did back then.
Yeah, and Kevin, earlier you mentioned in terms of production capacity restraints, it sounds like you're saying that solid phase imposes that constraint. And so if we think about the trend of introducing and adopting more liquid phase syntheses and processes, what do you think are the big challenges facing implementation of more liquid phase across the CDMO landscape, across like what infrastructure challenges there? What are the big constraints to overcome?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually probably, Tyler, there's more advantages than constraints, because as Matteo started to allude to, much of the liquid phase approaches actually fit very well into traditional small molecule syntheses. So, for a linker-based synthesis in the liquid phase, it's a purely extractive workup. So anybody with a reactor and an agitator can actually, run one of these syntheses. I think as we talk about going to purely chemical synthesis versus tag synthesis, we have the opportunity to move even away from FMOC protected amino acids and looking at Z and CBZ protected amino acids as alternatives, which, I think are earlier in the synthetic route towards the FMOC amino acids. So they're actually much lower in cost. But one of the challenges there is the D protection chemistry, while cleaner because it's done via hydrogenation, involves the use of hydrogenation. So you are starting to look at needing CDMOs that have that hydrogenation capability instead of just removal of an FMOC using a base. And so it opens up, I think, with the ability to use small molecule infrastructure with that one limiting caveat that we will be leveraging slightly different chemistries, including, like I said, hydrogenation.
Great. Thank you. Chuck, Matteo, and any points to add there?
Well, one thing that we're talking about this, so one problem of the solution phase process is there is a point where you need eventually, even with a solution phase synthesis, to purify the peptide. So the downstream will still remain something that has to be developed. And most of this CDMO that we talk about with large-scale reactor, because they are normally working in small molecule, and chromatography is not part of their DNA, that you don't have, makes the development of a liquid phase process still complex, in the sense that you have to find now a second site to purify your product produced synthetically and isolate your product. So you're not totally off the hook, because the purification regardless has to happen. Now, there are CDMO out there that specialize in purification, but again, at the volume we are talking about now, there are not a lot of them. So you are just moving a little bit the limiting step in terms of where do I find the capacity to produce my product somewhere else, which is going to be the purification stage. This has to be kept in mind. So I think it's impossible nowadays, with the expectation from the authority and our expectation for the quality of our product, to do it synthetically and not needing a final chromatographic step. Even if it's a polishing step, that will still happen.